is capable of and what our instructors are and participants are capable of. And we're really looking forward to the fall. Y'all have heard this in other places, but registration starts August 10th. Our printed brochures arrive hot off the press today into the LifeQuest office. And so we will be getting those out in a socially distant way in the mail next week. And then registration opens August 10th. So about the day before, you'll be able to see the full schedule on the website, and you can register online or in the mail. So we're just thrilled about offering 30 classes Monday to Friday, which is different for us, in the fall term beginning September 14th. And are excited to see what the possibilities are. We'll be learning new things. So without further ado, thank you, and I'll sign off. Thanks, Tom.
Thank you, Leah. And thank you, Gina. And thank you to everybody else who's making this possible, including especially the foundation and the donors to LifeQuest who said we can't let this just die out. We've got to keep supporting it because it's so important. So I'm very thankful to them too. I'm gonna take a look around here and see who's here. Hey, Lynn. Hey, Donna. Hello, Joe. Oh, there's Sandra. Good to see you. And Kathy, yes. And Marina, who sent me that. Yeah, I don't know why I let you surprise me, but you do. I shouldn't do that anymore. I'll tell everybody else about that in a minute. Hey, Nancy. And then there's a face there. It's just a photograph. It says LifeQuest of a beautiful young woman, but I don't know who that is. Gina, do you know who that is? It's not a staff person. Okay. And there's Jeanette. Yeah. You're in a different location. Say it again.
It's Lindy.
Lindy. Oh yeah, now I reckon. See, I've only met her once. Jeanette, you're in a different location there. Is that right? And are you still at home? Yeah. You're just in your kitchen or something. I don't know. Okay. Yeah.
I'm here. I sit next to my cat. My cat likes to sit here, so I've got my cat.
Oh, that's nice. Your cat loves. Okay, I hope he loves jazz. Okay, the jazz cat. All right, this is the last one, of course, for this summer term, 4 weeks, and it's been a lot of fun. My week went much better, and I took everybody's advice. I think there were 3 things I heard you all say to me. Live in the moment. Yes, and I guess you'd say that's what the Buddhists called in the here and now, in mindfulness. And Jesus calls, consider the lilies of the field. So I remember I was doing that, but I did it more. And there were a couple of others that I also, off the top of my head, I don't remember, but I can tell you, I was a good student for all of you. Today, we're going to look at 3 different compositions. I'm going to start off because it's the summer season, and the summer season, because of COVID, has been, many things have been absent that are important to people, and in terms of entertainment, and they haven't been able to enjoy that particular form of entertainment this summer. So I'm going to start off with a song that is a tribute to that. I see I'm trying to be a little vague here. To that gathering and to what they do. I enjoy them too. I used to a lot more, but less now, but I still enjoy them toward the end of, in the fall. I think you'll get it. Thank you. Had a lot of fun with that, working through that. I've done a lot of things with that. And what's interesting today is that's in 3/4. Is that I started it off in 4/4, and then I was playing along. I thought, oh, I'm playing it in 4. Do I want to stay in 4 or do I want to? And then I said, no, I'll switch back to 3. And that's the wonderful sort of thing that jazz pianists can do when they're playing by themselves. If those intuitive things sort of happen, and you let them happen, and then sometimes you don't realize it until later, And so I was listening to myself, is what I'm trying to say. It was a lot of fun. So how many of you love baseball? I said love. Yeah, go ahead.
Take me out to the ball game?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was a lucky guess on my part because it just went whoop.
Yeah, it was Take Me Out to the Ball.
That I can get. Yeah. There you
I heard it.
Good. Yeah.
The whole
Yeah.
audience happening in my office here, and Kyle goes, I heard it. It was 3 strikes, you're out.
Yeah.
So you're out.
I heard a few measures that I recognized.
Well, it's been a crazy season, so why not? I mean, it has been no season, so. But anyway, I like playing it that way. I decided I'd disguise it for a long time at first, and then give it to you. So evidently, I kept it disguised even when I gave it to you, to some of you. Okay, any comments? How did you find it? Its character. Its character. Music has character.
Go ahead, Jeanette.
Happy-go-lucky, happy.
Yeah. Happy,
Carefree.
that's right.
Carefree.
Other things.
I kind of visualize swirling leaves too
Swirling leaves, yeah. Okay.
on some of the runs. Yeah.
A lot of life to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I tried to put in some other things too. And some other, I would say, characteristics, as in emotional states, as in mental and mental states as well.
Joe, I see that you're still unmuted. Do you have a question or comment?
No, I just forgot to mute myself.
That's okay.
How about humor? You didn't
I
hear
laughed
the
once I recognized the song. I started laughing.
I put in a good deal of humor in there. Ha ha ha. Oh. Yeah, I love playing around with emotions on the piano, and I love looking at paintings and improvising what I see. Sometimes TV shows. So that's gets into programmatic music again, like we talked about last week. All right, we're gonna move on. That was a lot of fun. It's been great this summer having y'all in my house, in my living room. I'll give you a tour of some of the artwork here in the fall. Okay, next tune I'm going to play, I'm going to play a standard, Gershwin from the Great American Songbook standard. There's thousands of those. Great American Songbook means music written in the 40s, 30s, even 50s, that largely was written either for theater or plays or for film. Of some form, the major names being Cole Porter and George Gershwin. Then you have Irving Berlin, Harold Arlen, Hoagy Carmichael, just numerous other composers like that. So I picked Gershwin, Embraceable Youth. I have to check my speed here. This is still in progress. whenever somebody says that, they're telling you it's not quite ready. So you may not hear everything perfect. I've been working on and off with this for about 4 weeks now, and I still don't really have it where I have it. Some of the things develop the way I want, or even under my fingers, but it's good enough for the last class. little bit different version there. What about the character of the way I played that one? Let's stay with character for a minute. You know, we've talked about melody, harmony. All music has melody. All music has not all, but I'll get into that deeper another time.
Go ahead,
Harmony
Jeanette.
and rhythm.
One word
Yeah.
comes to mind. Playful.
Go- Say it again.
Playful.
Playful. Yeah.
Yeah.
The fourth character, I mean, when you go to school and you go to music school, they teach you the four characteristics of all music are melody, harmony, rhythm, and timbre, with timbre being the color of the tone, how you shape the tone of your sound. You know, there should be a fifth one. Character. What is the character of the music? You know, so because those other three, those other four, they're just so cerebral. You know, it's all left brain stuff. But we don't experience music that way. We do when we analyze it. We should all invent a right brain language for music. Character being one. You know, what is the character of the piece for you? Playful. Somebody said playful. Anything else? You're
Yeah.
telling me. I don't know. Go ahead.
This is Raina. I agree with Jeanette, and also I liked it because there was so much movement, which contributed to the playfulness. And a lot of times that song is sung very slow and kind of drawn out, and this was
Yeah.
fun to listen to.
Yeah, it bounces along with that at that tempo. It's nice. The harmonies are so nice in that. That's one of the reasons I like that song. The harmonies are very Gershwin-esque. They take some surprisingly different turns. He was classically trained in composition, so does some of that. I like the fact that it's in G major. He'll just keep working on a little thing, you know. And you got it again. And at one point, he goes, he changes his key, he goes to the dominant, D major. I'm in G, he goes to D major. But he doesn't stay there long. He uses the same progression, which he used down here. So a little bit variation there. And everybody expects this. I don't give you that. Then we're back. There's so much you can do. You go, if you square the harmony, it's all of that one chord. But I don't like to square off harmony. It makes everything too predictable to square. I put the chord in that's coming up next. I put it a beat ahead. And I put this in. This is the chord you expect, and you get it, but then I substitute this chord. And I put my own ending. Different every time, but you just have, once you kind of get it under your fingers, and you can hear I'm not quite have it under there, but once I get it, I'll have even more fun playing it. Hopefully more fun listening to it. Some of these songs are going to come around again in the fall. I'll put too much work in them for them not to, and we can talk about how they're different this time. Character, any other characteristics you want to talk about the song or questions you have, just technical questions? I like that you ask questions. I really think you I would really like you to ask more questions about any aspect of jazz piano, about putting things together, or just what you heard. You don't even have to ask a question. Jeanette.
I have one. Well, you know, I love questions about your process. And so you were talking about getting this into your fingers. And I've asked you this question about other pieces before, but I'm really curious about this one. Do you play it pretty much the same way every time that you're practicing it, say just preparing it for this class? Or have you tried out different ways and kind of settled on this way?
The latter. Yes, the latter. And I always leave room. There's always room for spontaneity in it. I like to be well prepared. And to be well prepared means I want to know the melody really well. I want to know the harmonies. I'll reharmonize and I reharmonize. And then sometimes after reharmonizing many, many times, I take weeks to get these ready. In other words, I've been working on this, getting this ready since May. We ended in April. I started in May, working on a repertoire of pieces, and I just rework them. And then I had to kind of figure out how I wanted to do it, and let that develop. And so I wrote out a number of different harmonic versions, each of them similar, but at some point different. I had a number of different kind of styles or tempos I wanted to try. I seemed to settle on this one about 2 weeks ago, something like that, and I kind of liked it. And I was putting in, and I always force myself to do something's different in each arrangement that are different from me. And there's some voicings in here that I've been working on for a long time. And they're still new to me, even though I've been working on them for about two years or so or more. And in this piece, because of the key I'm in, some of those were really hard to get under my fingers. What was it? It's a spot here. I did this voice in here with it. Whatever. I wrote it down so it. And then I played for the next to change the harmony. Because that melody is going to repeat again. So I want to harmonize it differently each time, so I played. Again, it happens fast, but we like them. Different. First time. Second time. Yeah.
Tom, can I make it?
So yeah,
can I
jump in.
make it- Okay, things like that are what make it interesting for me, and I call it when people put in like little pockets, like you're going along and then there's this little triplet or a run or change or whatever, and I like things with lots of little pockets.
Yeah.
I like lots of pockets in my coats too, but you know.
Yeah, there's always a lot of stuff to carry because we have so many interests. Is that it?
Yeah.
I pegged you for that too. Yeah.
I noticed Mike has his microphone unmuted if he has a comment or question.
Sure.
Yeah, Tom, I was curious, when you work on a piece like this and you work on it for weeks and weeks, do you
Yes.
try to play it the same way each time, or do you try to let things flow and your mood and whatever make it different every time you play it?
Different every time I play it. And the way and I'm glad you came back to that question, because that was what Jeanette, in essence, that was part of what Jeanette was asking. Hang on just a minute. Look, there you are, Mike. Okay. So you got just your picture up. That's fine. I knew that was your voice.
Yeah.
What I do is I want to get well grounded in the melody and any keys I'm going to modulate to. I want to decide on the harmonies that I'm going to use in different places and the voicings that I'm going to use. And then I want to explore several different ways of voicing those harmonies. C minor 7/9, C minor 7/6/9. Same chord. Same chord. Same chord. Same chord. Real traditional there. But I want to make sure I have under my fingers a lot of different ways to voice that chord that I've chosen to put in that spot. But then I go through and I make sure my harmonies move smoothly in terms of inner voice leading. Let's see, like listen, for instance, listen to the left hand. Counter melody going on there, and that's going back quickly. And so I kind of want I want to hear counterpoint all the time in here. So and then I decide on approximate tempo and I decide on approximate style. And then when I feel very secure and I've sat down at the piano many times and I've played it using those elements, but allowing each time to be different and for new things to happen. And maybe as I'm playing along, I'll hear something different that I hadn't practiced, and I know what it is, and I can play it. I'll play it, and so if I'm well grounded, I can go just about anywhere. I can abstract this tune way out, or I can play it very straight. See, if I wanted to play it like that, because I know the basics of it, it's pretty nice that way. Yeah. So in general, that's how I do life. I do life as a jazz musician. That doesn't mean freewheeling at all. It means I like to do my homework on something that's important that I must know about or I want to know about. And right now, I can tell you as a caregiver, for me, it's all about being well prepared and then just being able to flow, being able to improvise, because you don't know where it's going next. You might have read about where something's going, but you don't know when it's coming or how it's coming. And that's the only way I can do this job. And that's the only way I can play the piano. Does that answer your question enough, Mike?
Yeah. I just wanted to know, with all the work that you put into it, just how much you want to mainline it or how much you want to let it flow. Yeah.
Okay. Well, what I do is I've gotten in the habit of is writing it out, putting it on a music program. And this is a sketchbook of that, but I have about 6 pages like this, each one a little different. And what I will eventually do, there's no time ever to get to this before class. Eventually, I will put this out where it's both right and left hand, but just sort of the basic rhythm of the melody and the harmony voicings that I'm using. I'll put it out and I'll get it printed, and then I'll file it away so that when I come back to it, I've done that homework and I have it. And I use that as a jumping off point. I'll use it as a, I want to hold on to it, to record it, to document it. Otherwise, if I get ready to play it again in a year, I'll liable to forget that I spent a lot of work on this same spot I'm now working on again. And if I go to the original document, I've done the work and it's there. But then off of that, I just go. The last piece, we need to move on. I'm going to end with this piece, and I think you'll know it. It's a good piece to end the semester with. I have to get it. I'm trying a certain sort of groove in this piece, and I have the hardest time keeping it in my head. That's what I'm listening to. That's where that one's going. That's in process too. I'm not quite where I want it to be yet in terms of a little more freedom. Keep the left hand going, a little more freedom in the right. I got to do some work to get that happening. I just haven't had the time. That takes several weeks. That work goes very slow, that kind of thing. Because technically it's not easy. You're trying to get your hands to do two different things at the same time, which I'm good at, but I'm not. But you know, your hands can do a lot of different things at the same time. And I have a repertoire of, you know, that I'm of that I'm always trying to push the envelope on. And it's for right-handed people, that's hard. Left-handed people, it comes easier. Comments, questions, thoughts on the piece, and then we'll talk about the class as we wrap up. What about the character of the piece? Not me. Somebody's
I
got
felt
to
like
speak
it
up.
was,
Yeah.
I thought it was easygoing, kind of flowing,
Yeah.
easygoing and flowing.
Is it going and flowing? Was it graceful?
Yes.
It's meant to be a pun, you know. Good. Well, that's kind of what the atmosphere I wanted to leave you all with. We have a break here of several weeks. I will miss you. Please feel free to contact me. This week, Jeanette always does. Alan does. I haven't seen Alan for a week or two. He might be no telling where. Hope he's well. Others of you have in the past. Just send it to LifeQuest, send it to Leah, and it'll get to me. Suggestions or thoughts or whatever. I really want to encourage you to do that. You're getting this, you're getting it for free. The way you can pay me is sending me comments. I didn't say compliments. I said comments or things you want. Now this week I got a email from Rena also, and all of you, if you don't know this, you need to know this. Rena's been with me since the beginning, since I first started teaching one of these, and I think that was, I don't remember when that was. And Rena identified herself in the first class as the hippest student of the whole class, and she remains that. Why? Because in the first class, I was asking people, who's your favorite jazz pianist? And I got standard answers, Ramsey Lewis, Herbie Hancock, Oscar Peterson, Chick Corea, et cetera, et cetera. And Rena said, with a quiet voice, Bill Evans. Now, Bill Evans is a great pianist, and but largely only sometimes jazz pianists know about Bill Evans. So I thought, whoa, how can she know? Oh, well, of course she does. She's, you know, we're close to the same age. Maybe she even heard him live. And then this week she sent me this. She said, in the upcoming class, would you play more Billy Strayhorn? And the answer is yes. He has a large body of work, and that's one of the composers I'm going to focus on. And then she said, and would you play some Lyle Mays? Now, how many of the rest of you know who Lyle Mays is? All right. Then you just have to stay in suspense. I'm going to play some Lyle Mays. Rena, I was sorry if in fact what you read is true, and I assume it is. I was very sorry to hear about his death.
I think it is because they had obituaries in all sorts of magazines and the New York Times and whatever. So I don't think it's false.
Yeah, I think you're right. I'm going to check it out. That's a sadness there. He was younger than all of us about, and but a fantastic pianist and composer. And you don't hear his name enough. Now here's a quick, here in the fall, I'm going to focus on some lesser known jazz pianists. Now to some of you, not lesser known, maybe some of their music is lesser known. So I'm going to focus on lesser known, but should be more known jazz pianists and composers. Billy Strayhorn being one of the composers. Some of the pianists, Brad Mehldau. I'm gonna create a syllabus of just names and some YouTube things. Brad Mehldau, Alan Pasqua, Gonzalo Rubicano, Lyle Mays, Oh yeah, for sure. Peter Martin. Go on YouTube, listen to Peter Martin. More Fred Hirsch. Horace Silver. We touched on him briefly in one of the first classes, but we need to get back to him. He was very influential, and he's not, people don't listen to a lot of him. Art Landy, especially Art Landy. Art's a friend of mine, and very, should be up there with the names of like Brad Meldau and Fred Hirsch. But he's chosen not to put himself in the circles of places where, like New York and LA or whatever, where you make the name and all that, and because he didn't want to live that lifestyle. But very innovative. I've learned a lot from him. I took a few lessons from him once. I'll tell you that story in the fall. He's about my age. And then if there are others, then you just need to contact me and say, mention somebody. And if I can work that person in, I will. I look forward to working on those. It'll expand my repertoire. Some of the pieces I already know, and we'll be working them out. Last thoughts or comments to me, please. All right, here's your chance to thank LifeQuest.
I think we're going to thank you first. I think
Yeah.
Tom needs a round of applause. Thank
Definitely.
you so much for doing
Yeah.
this.
Amazing.
We appreciate
how much
it.
you have to yeah, thank you.
I do want to let you know that Tom's class in the fall will still be on Wednesdays at 2 in the afternoon. I find it's a good way to end my Wednesdays. So, we kept him there because that was also his request. And we look
Good
forward to
little
8 weeks of that.
Good time for me.
The brochure will be mailed out next week, and registration opens on August 10th. We love seeing all of you in class, and love seeing Tom and other enthusiastic instructors doing their best to make connections during this time. Are you taking a picture of all of us, Tom?
I want to take a picture.
Okay, all of y'all smile and say cheese.
So I am doing it. I am flipping to every single place here.
I'm going to stop recording on Facebook while you're doing this.